It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
I'm...
Hello there. Greetings and salutations, everybody, and happy holiday weekend for Thanksgiving 2020. We hope that you, your families, your friends, your loved ones have been enjoying this holiday weekend. And boy, there are so many things to be thankful for this year, despite the dark times we are living in. Yes, with the pandemic, I know it hurts. It's a bummer. But you know what? Welcome to Our Way, Mandalorian Review. We're going to do a spoiler-heavy recap and review of this week's episode. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about for this week's episode of The Mandalorian. I am not alone in this journey. I am joined by the one and only Gregory Lee of Nerd Culture. Gregory Lee, how are you today, good sir?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy today. I'm very happy today.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're happy to have you with us.
I'm
We
very
appreciate
happy about
it.
this week.
Yeah, and Greg, I hate to say this, but I'm hearing a little bit of a buzz sound in your microphone, so you might want to.
Well, then give me a moment.
Yeah, you sound like a Cylon. But anyway, that's a Battlestar Galactica reference. Anyway, as we go into this show, like I said, we're going to be spoiler heavy, so make sure that if you have seen this week's episode, you're more than welcome to join us. If you haven't seen this week's episode of The Mandalorian, you may want to save this video for a little bit later on, and then come right back and join us for that. So, I see a few people have already joined us in the chat. We do appreciate it. We're going to go right into this. So, Greg, let me know when you're ready to go in the private chat or whatever. Are you testing your mic? Is everything okay? I take it he's checking on things. But anyway, sorry about that, folks. But anyway, so quick recap. This week's episode of The Mandalorian is simply called The Jedi. And boy, my goodness gracious, that word has so many different meanings right now. So not even into the first 5 minutes of this week's episode was my jaw on the floor. I was amazed from ear to ear. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the live action debut of arguably one of the most iconic and important characters in the Star Wars galaxy, and that would be Ahsoka Tano. Made her live action debut, played by veteran actress Rosario Dawson, who you may have seen in Clerks 2. She was in The Rundown with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Seann William Scott, and then she went on to a number of other projects, and she's also been in the Marvel Netflix series as the character of Night Nurse. I can't remember her exact character name. It's not coming to me. Was it Claire or something? I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the chat. But anyhow, so Mando and the child, they get to this place, and it's a bit desolate, not much going on, dark woods, foggy area, all that kind of stuff. And also, Greg, if you're backstage, let me know in the private chat when you're ready to come back on, and we'll see if your audio is working properly. So just let me know in the private chat, which is on the sidebar of your monitor. It should be, anyway. But anywho, so yeah, Mando and child get to this planet, and they gotta figure out, where is this Jedi? Is the child going to be returned to the Jedi? Is the child not going to be returned to it? What have you? This episode guest starred veteran actors and actresses Jennifer Block Bean and Michael Biehn, husband and wife. You may remember Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese in the Terminator movies, as well as he was in Aliens and a number of other films, as well as Tombstone. His wife's been in a couple things here and there. And this planet is being ruled by a cruel magistrate, played by Jennifer Block Green. I think her character name was Morgan Ellsworth. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, please correct me in the chat. And then, so Mando comes to her and says, "Hey, I got a problem. There's a Jedi out there. They're trying to take over my." Oh, sorry. Okay. Whoop. You jumped right out, Greg. Can you jump right back in? Click the link and jump right back in. I'll bring you back in just a moment. Here you are. Let's see what we have here. Hold on, guys.
Hello.
Greg, you with us?
Hi. Yes. Hello.
Okay. I hate to say this, Greg, but you still sound a bit like your microphone sounds strange.
Interesting. Hang on. Let me try this.
Yeah, might want to adjust that for a minute. Anyway, sorry about that.
Is that any better?
You still sound a little scratchy, buddy. I'm not sure what's going on.
Interesting.
I can see you. You're having a little bit of trouble there. So I don't know what to say. But anyway, sorry guys. We're sorry we're getting sidetracked. We're having a little bit of difficult. Oh, really? He does sound good to you, Thomas?
Anything?
All right, well, let me try something here. Hold on, guys.
Oop, that's me. Hi.
No, that's not my what. Oh. Greg just jumped out. This is just crazy. Sorry about the jumping around hoops here, folks. As far as I know, you say Greg sounds good to you. I don't think it's my Wi-Fi. I swear. I don't know. We'll see. Hold on.
Hi.
Ugh.
Hello.
All right, Greg.
No.
Hold on a second. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
The beauty of live. Hello, everyone. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but this was a very exciting episode this week, and I don't remember where Ryan left off because I was working on stuff.
Okay. All right. All right. You're right. It was on me. It was on me. Sorry. All right.
Beauty of live.
Glad we got that. I know. Don't you just love when we do things like? Sorry about that, folks. So anyway, recap of the episode real quick because I know we want to get into our thoughts, and I know I've been jumping around here, and we apologize for the technical difficulties on both ends.
Yes.
So, but yeah, more so my end than Greg. Sorry, Greg. So Mando comes to this planet. He has to, kill a Jedi that's been given this magistrate a lot of problems on her side of the fence. He goes out. He finds her, and who is it? Well, it's Ahsoka freaking Tano, played by Rosario Dawson, and they team up to go after this corrupt magistrate and her chief of security or her head soldier named Lang, played by Michael Biehn. We find out more about Ahsoka Tano. We find out more about the child. The child actually has a name, Grogu. I think Grogu is how. Yeah, Grogu is the child's name.
I don't know why I want to call him Grogi.
No, it's Grogu. So we know what the child's name is. We know where the child is probably supposed to be headed. But Ahsoka is very wary of this because there's not many Jedi left to train him to help harness his Force powers. Ahsoka says, this is too dangerous. I've seen what happens when people use the Force in different ways, and it doesn't always end well. It really doesn't. And she's referring to the story of Anakin Skywalker, who turns into Darth Vader, of course. So the action, the awesomeness, the debut of one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars history commences, and we get more history of Ahsoka. We get more about the child. And also, Ahsoka Tano confronts this magistrate at the end of the episode, and she says, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? There's another Easter egg for you. Yes, giant Easter eggs. A lot of things are added to the layers of the Star Wars galaxy and the mythology. Overall, I love this episode to pieces. Ahsoka Tano was fantastic. I don't know too much about the character. I've only seen a few episodes of one season of the Clone Wars. I caught her appearances in Star Wars Rebels because, yes, I've seen every episode of Star Wars Rebels, just to give you a little bit of background. But I've not read the books. I haven't read the comics featuring this character. But you know what? If the executives, and I know you're watching this, Disney, Lucasfilm, I know you're watching this, give me more Ahsoka Tano now, please. Give me a series, give me a movie, a trilogy. I don't care because, quite frankly, I think Rosario Dawson did a phenomenal job playing this character. Yeah. I liked her voice. I liked her mannerisms. I liked the look. I liked her sabers, which I believe were white sabers. That was cool to see again. We know that Ahsoka Tano lives. We know that somewhere out there, Grand Admiral Thrawn is running around. So there's a lot of, connective tissue from Star Wars Rebels into this series known as The Mandalorian. And yeah, I want more Ahsoka Tano. That's really all I got to say. Hashtag more Ahsoka Tano, please. Overall, I love this episode. It was great to see Michael Biehn after so many years of him being away from the acting circuit for a little bit and doing other projects behind the camera, working with his wife, Jennifer Block Biehn, if you will. I've seen him at conventions. I met him one time. He signed my Terminator Blu-ray. Great interaction with him. Great to see him on screen. The action sequences were well choreographed and very stylized. I loved it. Mando was helping the village. He was freeing prisoners from being tortured. We actually get to see what it's like when you're in captivity on a certain planet with corrupt politicians. It's real, it's unfortunate that these people were in prison, but at the same time, it's good to see this. And the environments were nice. It was very eerie. It was very dark. It was visceral. And I love the story between Ahsoka and the Mandalorian working together and learning from each other and understanding why they think the way that they do and why they use their weapons the way that they do. It's very, very unique. So yeah, other than that, I love this episode. Now, Greg, you've been the devil's advocate since the very beginning of the Mandalorian series airing on streaming services. You said, oh, this series is nothing but a guy going on a quest. Nothing really happens. Very few layers are
a lot of side quests.
It's always the same story where where the person's on a quest and he goes from one clue to another and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I don't know if you watched this week's episode or not. I mean, I hope you have, because otherwise you probably wouldn't be on this show right now. Greg, for the life of me and for the life of the people who are watching this live at home, tell us your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode. Are you now a fan of this series, or are you still of the same mindset where, yeah, there was a few impressive sequences, but nothing really made me get out of bed this morning? Greg, what are your thoughts?
Uh, I love the way that you described that. That was perfect.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I actually really like this episode because it did move the story forward. It moved the story forward a little bit more. It wasn't just like him. Like, I honestly thought, like, as soon as he like walked up to the magistrate and she was just like, "Hey, I have a job for you. Go kill this Jedi." I honestly thought the rest of the episode was just going to be him like trying to track down Ahsoka Tano for the rest of the episode, and then the next episode we would get them like working together to free the town. So I'm very glad that this episode was like action packed. It moved the story forward. We got a lot of lore, and just the fact that Ahsoka was in the episode, like that was what I've been waiting for since like episode 2, because that's when they were just like, "Hey, there's a Jedi that you need to go find." And then 3 episodes of just like, I'll get there when I get there. But this time around, it was wonderful. I loved it. Like, I loved everything about this episode. Like, really good action set pieces. Like, we finally got to see lightsabers again, like lightsaber fighting, and it was also just like very interesting to see like the town. Like, you didn't spend a lot of time in the town, but like you kind of like understood, like, okay, like these people just came in, took over this town, and like the people are scared to fight back, except like the one guy who was apparently the mayor at the end was like the only person like coming out to like help, because he was just like, "I need to help my people." I was just like, wow, this is like a perfect short Western like movie. Like, this was like a perfect like beginning, middle, end like Western movie, and like that's what the Mandalorian has always been set up to be, and like that's what we got here. Like that, and like, I really like this episode, and I love now that the child has a name. Like, they actually like name the child, and I also like really like the fact that like Ahsoka was just like, I can't train him, kind of like how they treated like Anakin. It's just like, we can't train him because he's too old, but like this time around it's like, we can't train him because he's too attached to you. And like the entire point of like the Jedi way is to like let go of your attachments.
That is true. That is very true.
It was also like really cool to like actually get someone to like speak for him, because like we didn't know anything about this kid. Like, we just knew that like he was like some sort of like Yoda, like
the same species as Yoda, but not the Yoda we all know, because that Yoda's passed on. Because this series specifically is set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
But they also said that he was training with the Jedi Order.
When he was
and I wonder if he was training with Yoda. Like, I really wonder if he ever like trained with Yoda, because like that would have been really cool to just be like, yeah, like I trained with Yoda, like no big deal. Like I know that guy. Like, it's a cool guy. But yeah, like this was a very exciting episode, and like I truly hope that the next episode is just like keeps the story moving forward, because like the next episode seems like it's going to be like a huge lore dump, and like that'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. That was going to be my next question. What do you hope to see in the next episode, and where do you hope to see the story go next?
I hope that they just go straight to the planet, and like there's just like a whole bunch of lore. Like I just want like a huge lore dump of just like the entire like Jedi Order, like the entire Jedi way, like explained to Mando in like some sort of like force way, so that we as the audience can see more. You can tell I'm very excited about this.
I'm just glad we're finally able to get out of the I'm not cursing here on the air, but the funk that you've been in with this whole series. You're like, this series is fine, but it's not, making me happy. It's not giving me a reason to wake up the next morning. No, if this episode doesn't give anybody who's anybody as a Star Wars fan to get up in the morning and be excited for the next chapter that's to come, I don't know what will. The name of this episode was called The Jedi, and boy, did we get a heck of a debut, live action debut, I might add, for Ahsoka Tano. Now, we're going to go to the comments here because there has been a lot of talk in the backstage area, in the comments section. I want to go to this here. Outside of our technical difficulties that we had a little bit earlier on, Caleb says, I feel like Rosario Dawson wasn't given enough time to train to play the character of Ahsoka. She was so stiff, as were her tentacles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I will
Caleb.
say, like, they did a really good job with like the makeup though. Like they did a really good job. It was very spot on.
Yeah.
But,
Whatever was in the animated series just jumped right off the screen.
Yeah. But yeah, like
it
did seem like a little bit more training. I just wanted like a little bit more screen time, honestly. Like,
yeah, but
I really wish that you went with them at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I would have gone for any kind of screen time. More screen time of Ahsoka is a great thing. But you know what? Yeah. This is only her first episode. Okay, yeah. It's her debut. You can't have the whole sandwich. You got to have a bit of an appetizer before you get to the main course. That's how life works. And Thomas goes on to say, I think Dave Filoni just set up his Ahsoka and Sabine Wren show. Well, if that's the case, then I'm down for an Ahsoka, Tano, and Sabine Wren show. I wouldn't have a problem with that if that's something that the executives want to move forward with. Caleb also goes on to say, I wasn't overly crazy about the writing in this one. It seemed like they forgot what time period they were being set in, which is crazy because Filoni wrote it himself. But Caleb says Ahsoka is not a Jedi anymore. She doesn't follow the ways of the Order, which is very true. So it makes no sense that she say the thing about attachment. Well,
that is very true.
Ahsoka is not a Jedi, but she's also not a Sith. She just goes about living her life her way, and she goes about it in her own direction. So no one's telling her what to do or what to say. I can understand why you may think, oh, she shouldn't be saying this because she's not on either side of the coin here. She's right in the middle. She just goes her own way. She's neutral, as Greg pointed out a moment ago.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I will say this, Caleb.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is true that she's not a Jedi, but she has trained with the Jedi, and like she knows Anakin's story. Like she knows the story of Darth Vader. Like she has seen like the entire story. So I think like she was just pulling from that experience of like, I knew a guy once, like he had a really big attachment to the fact that he was married and like he accidentally killed his wife, and he just turned evil and was the most cruel dictator that the universe had ever seen. So I think she was trying to warn against that, but that is a very good point. The fact that like she did kind of like go like full Jedi for a moment, and then remembered like, oh God, like I know this kid has like an attachment to you. Like I don't want him to like turn evil because we don't need something that powerful evil again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Thomas goes on to say her issues with attachment is a personal issue due to Anakin, not the Order's rules, and he is agreeing with what Greg said.
Yes. Me and Thomas are on the same page again.
Thomas agrees with the thoughts of one Gregory Lee. Now, my hopes and dreams for the next episode is just I don't care. They can take. I mean, they've already taken my money, but they can take even more of my money. I don't care. I just want to see where this story goes. I want to see if he's going to drop that kid off at that location that Ahsoka gave to Mando, about saying, hey, if you drop him off here at the ancient ruins of this temple, maybe a Jedi will reach out to the child and train him, take care of him, look after him, what have you. But you know what? Whether or not the child sticks with Mando, I don't care. I just want to see where Mando's going to go next. I want to see where Ahsoka Tano, if she's going to find Grand Admiral Thrawn, and there's going to be a confrontation between those two characters. What about Bo-Katan and her quest to find the Darksaber against Moff Gideon? I want to see where that's going to go. And granted, we only have 3 episodes left in Season 2 before we move on to Season 3. Now, I'm hoping that the executives and the people at Lucasfilm, whether it's Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, all you guys working behind the camera, can shoot Season 3 despite us being in the middle of a pandemic. I don't know if you're going to hold off for a little bit until more issues are resolved, more of a vaccine has been released to the people in Hollywood or the general public. But you know what? I trust anything and everything that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing, because
Yeah,
I've been a fan of this since day one. Yes,
they're doing a great job.
there's been some, you know, some fillers here and there, but you know what? That happens with every series. It happens with every story. It's all part of the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So I look forward to seeing more of Ahsoka Tano. I can tell you that much.
I will say, like, I think these last 3 episodes are going to be like the best ones yet, just because like they have set up a lot. They have set up a lot in those like 3 filler episodes. Like they set up a lot with like the new characters that they're introducing, bringing Ahsoka back, and just like the fact that like everyone is looking for someone, so you know other people are coming into the story. So it's kind of just like how are they going to make all of this work, which is very exciting, and it will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, here's a question for you, and this is a question for the audience out there, and I'll get to a few of these comments that are coming into the chat in just a moment. Greg, what do you think are the chances that the numbers and the sales of Ahsoka Tano Funko Pops and action figures within the Star Wars Black Series figures that are out right now, do you think there's going to be a giant surge in sales because of this episode featuring Ahsoka Tano?
Oh yeah, like people have actually like been like very lukewarm. Like when you first get introduced to Ahsoka, everyone was just like, "Ooh, I don't like her." And then like the more she grows into herself and like into her like Jedi self, is just like everyone's just like, "We need more of Ahsoka." Like she's just such an interesting character that like everyone kind of just grows to love, and then you're just like, yeah, we're going to need more. We're going to need more of Ahsoka Tano. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they're already in talks for her own standalone show.
A standalone series, or maybe a movie, maybe a standalone movie at some point or another, if the executives decide to go that route. If they don't, hey, we're always down for another Disney Plus streaming series, because we're not going anywhere.
This is true.
We're gonna be right here. We are going to be right here, and we're going to be watching, and we're going to be tuning in, and we're going to be enjoying it.
Yes.
Should that be the case? Now, I want to go to the comments here for just a moment before we start to wrap things up. Thomas says, Vader was the assistant to the greatest dictator known as I'm assuming that's Emperor Palpatine?
Yes. That was... Okay. You are right, Thomas. That is true. He was the assistant to...
the greatest dictator in the history of the Star Wars galaxy. We're not talking about real life history. We're talking about the Star Wars galaxy. Caleb goes on to say, I'm definitely excited to see more. I just felt like Ahsoka was a bit disappointing, especially after the triumph that was Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan.
Yeah. For them to get something like so right with Bo-Katan, like you really wanted them to get like everything absolutely perfect with Ahsoka. But I will say, like, I was happy with it, but like, yeah, I can understand where Caleb is coming from. I kind of feel the same way, but I was just happy to see her in like live action.
That's very true.
I was waiting. I've been waiting for it for like, I honestly thought she was going to make an appearance in like some of the newer the new trilogy, like as just like an old Ahsoka Tano. Is just like, that would have been awesome, but like, you know, it's fine. Like this is a nice way to introduce her to like maybe people that are new to the show. So yeah.
I mean, granted, I've seen her appearances on Star Wars Rebels, and I saw Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie that led into the animated series known as The Clone Wars, and I've only seen a number of episodes of The Clone Wars, but not a whole lot of it. So I don't know a whole lot about Ahsoka Tano's backstory. So that's why I like this live-action debut, because to me, this live-action debut of hers, played by Rosario Dawson, was a bit of an origin story for me. You know, because I'm not overly familiar with her character and the mythology that she's involved with. And plus, I haven't read the books, okay? So this series has been an entry point for certain Star Wars fans of all ages, including myself. And that's one of the things I like about the series the most, is that if you've seen the movies, or if you haven't read the books, or if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, does it help if you had watched them prior to seeing these episodes of The Mandalorian? Yes, it does. But at the same time, if you haven't, we're not going to, say you're not a real fan, you don't belong in this series, you don't belong watching. Yes, you do. Anyone can watch this. If you've seen a Star Wars movie or TV series, it's a great entry. I think it's a fantastic entry point for new and veteran Star Wars fans alike. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. But as we wrap up, we have 3 episodes left in this season. I cannot wait to see where it goes. So we are going to wrap this up. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for chiming in the chat.
Yes,
thank you for sticking with us through our unfortunate technical difficulties on either side of the fence here. Hopefully that won't happen next time. Well, yes, hopefully we'll do better next week. Thank you for pointing that out, Greg. But in the meantime, we hope that you and your families are enjoying this Thanksgiving weekend. Please stay healthy, stay safe, stay strong, and make sure you're following us on all forms of social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. New videos are dropping each and every week. We got a lot of new interviews coming your way. We have some live watch-alongs for films that are going to be celebrating their 20th anniversaries, as well as, I'm trying to think, what's the other one? Oh, one film is celebrating its 10th anniversary. More details will be released as we move forward. Stay tuned to our social media. You're not going to want to miss it. In the meantime, we do have a new merchandise store, so check it out on Threadless. It's nerdculture.threadless.com. There's a giant sale going down on the site right now. A lot of sales are going on because it's a holiday weekend. Buy yourself a shirt. Buy your family members or your friends a hoodie, or a wall print, or a phone case, a laptop sleeve, a coaster, a mug, something to that effect. Buy it, enjoy it. Thank you all for your support. We are over 300 subscribers now, so thank you all for your support, for liking, commenting on our videos, giving us a rating, all that good stuff. On this. Yes, join us on this amazing journey. Enjoy your weekend, and in the meantime, this is the way.
Bye-bye.